Now look at this problem. This is just asking you to return an array that will be product of input array, but expect the current element. So seeing this example, you see product of every other numbers excluding the first one becomes 24. Similarly, excluding this 2, that will give you 12. So what I am saying is just exclude this, include this, it will give you 24. Second iteration, exclude this, include this, and both of this will give you 12 as the product. Similarly, in third iteration, just exclude this third one and product of remaining one is 8. So in this way, this will work. Now see that in action. So we can just take a temporary array or the array that we are going to return at the end. We can just initiate a for loop and give trying to do the iteration. Then we have an inner for loop which will just help us to ignore the current index in this way, and we can just keep on calculating the current product. So at the end we get this and we can return the result. So this is simple because this is brute force. Let's see the result. Run this. So yeah, here is our result. Now we need to optimize this inner for loop. For that, the idea is, instead of doing all this, we can use prefix sum or pre-computed result. For working with prefix sum, we can take this left and right array and we'll try to calculate from going forward from left to right and from right to left, and for each element we just try to see if there is another product available for the current element or not, because we want to ignore the current one. So for first one, if you see, there is no other element in the beginning, so if we just initiate with 1 and then we can start iterating from this array. We can just multiply the first with 1. Now we come here and we see the element is 2. We can multiply it with the previous product is 1. It gives us 2. And similarly, if we come here, we'll multiply with the previous product which is 2, which gives us 6. And similarly, we'll do it for the right one also. So there is no element, so we just put 1 here. There is 4. So we multiply with 1, we'll get 4. We put that here. Then we come to 3. We multiply with the previous product, which for this case is 4, so we just write 12 here. Similarly, now we have 2 and we can multiply with the previous product, it will give us 24. Now if we multiply this all with the corresponding index of left, we'll get what is the required array. Now you have observed how we are actually using prefix sum, or in this case we can say prefix product. So prefix sum is just a common word, but we are actually having some calculated result in our hand and we'll try to use that we have done for these two array and we got the answer. Let's try to see that in action. Now similarly, we have just define our answer array whose size is same as the nums. We built our prefix product. As you can see, we just did what we have decided. We put the first index as 1 and other is like that, and for each index we are just using the previous product. We are not calculating anything from scratch. Then for multiplying with the suffix, or we can say from right to left, we just start this for loop, and similarly we are putting the same in answer array and updating the right, so that we'll get the final answer at the end in the answer array, and we'll return the answer at the end. Let's try to run this. So it is giving us what we are expecting. Now let's paste this logic to Leetcode. Pasting it to Leetcode, let's try to run the simple test cases. It is passed. Now let's submit this. So it is beating 94% of the programmers out there, but you got the idea how we can use a pre-computed result to make our solution efficient. Thank you for watching this. See you in the next one. Just a quick tip, we can do this in this way also, like we can just multiply it with all the numbers out there from a single for loop, and then we can just divide with the current number, which will give you the answer. This is another tip, but as we are learning prefix sum, so this is not aligned with that. So again, we'll see you in the next one.